Well, hello everybody. How are you? Good to be here. And what is it today? We are on 12th of May, and it's a Monday. Welcome to Monday Funday with Jane and myself. Good to see everybody on here. Missed you over the last couple of days. I know it's only been 2 days, only Saturday and Sunday, but it feels like forever because we have packed in a lot over this weekend. That's for sure. But I'll allow Jane to tell you how everything's gone on over this weekend. Let's bring you up to date on Passive Wise. Nothing new in the OES. So make sure you log in at least once a day just to see if there's any pop-ups there. Am I expecting to hear something from our CEO this week? Yeah, towards the back end of this week, I am. Obviously, with our brother Marty DeGarmo in hospital. If you've been on Chris's lives, you will be up to date with how he is progressing. He's lost a lot of water retention, which is very good news because that was one of his problems that he had. And midweek this week, he's looking likely to have the small op to check his heart out, which is going up through his groin. Yeah, ouch. And obviously they will know an awful lot more then as well. But we keep him in our thoughts and our prayers, obviously, and wish him a very speedy recovery. And let's hope they can get to the bottom of what's going wrong at the moment so that he can rest, recoup, and be back to his old self.
And rejoin.
Well, he's not left anyway, has he? So, but certainly,
in the way he wants to.
Certainly get back to doing what he loves doing best, and that is being around his own passive brothers and sisters. Just want to quickly touch on the people that are sharing out the SEC case at the moment. As always, it's something I'm not going to touch on because it's up to our CEO to update us. But if you are one of the people that is sharing this around, yes, it is in the public domain, but I really believe that if you have read what is there, like many of us have, then you will also understand that there is no news there either. It's just an update of how things are progressing. And this is why our CEO said, if you remember on a second webinar or even our first webinar, that he would be able to update us within a 60 to 90 day period from that webinar of what has happened as far as that case is concerned. This is what we should be doing. We should be allowing him his time to do what he needs to do as far as that case is concerned, rather than all of us speculating on what it's going to be or not going to be. We are not lawyers. We are not attorneys. We are not legal representatives. So why don't we all stick in our lane, and that is to support our CEO rather than trying to preempt exactly what is going on. So please allow our CEO the time that he needs to update us with that side as well. Anyway, it is Monday Fun Day, and from a very tired Redfern household, I'm going to now hand it over to my lovely wife, Jane.
Oh, you say all the right things.
Don't I say all the right things?
Hi, everyone. Hi.
Oh, and we forgot to say, didn't we? Not here in the UK yesterday, but happy Mother's Day to everyone else who
should be Mother's Day every day.
Exactly, but why can't they just sort of get their act together and have like a worldwide one day Mother's Day, and then everyone would be on the same page, wouldn't they? Really, but there you go. Anyway, for everyone, I think stateside and Canada have the same as us, I believe. But for everyone in the States, happy Mother's Day. There you go. Go on, Jay. Sorry.
Oh, I carry on now.
Sorry, I just thought of it. So I'll say it.
I'll say it. Thank you very much. Hello, everyone. I'm super tired. Sorry, I'm a little bit like, ooh.
I know.
Super tired, both of us. Felt all right yesterday. Today, I feel very tired. Of course, you all know. I hope you all guys all had a lovely weekend. We had a cracker of a weekend here from a weather perspective.
Wow,
it was roasting.
I mean, look.
I've been freckle popping.
Glowing.
Yeah, we are literally. I've been freckle popping all weekend with my Factor 50 on, I might add, before anyone tells me off. And yeah, of course, you all know we did the charity walk on
Saturday.
What even day is it? And you notice it says red and Jane Redfern in UK in purple, because that is the colour for dementia over here. Purple, they use purple and like a royal blue. So that's really nice. And we did good, guys. We did good, right?
Yeah, I wouldn't say
wasn't easy.
It wasn't. 26 miles isn't easy anyway. And couple that with the weather, couple it with the terrain, which was it was undulating, I think is the right terminology.
Yeah, it was, but I don't think there was anything.
No, there was nothing steep. There was only one steep.
I mean,
so there's only one steep bit through up the steps through the forest. That was quite
Salisbury
steep.
Plain is called Salisbury Plain for a reason. It's on a plain.
But it was sort of undulating like it. But anyway, the terrain that we were on was very farm tracky, shaly, loose, rocky type of stuff we walked on.
So it was quite hard going.
So it tends to actually not be good stuff to walk on, because your feet are sliding a little bit and you're on hard rocks all the time. And it was for many of us, the last sort of 6 miles really was hard going. But Jane, carry on. Sorry about starting. I know I said I wasn't going to. I got so excited.
I'm going to invite you in later next week. No, it was really good. We all started off together, and they sort of did an announcement on a speaker. It was really nice, actually. They did an announcement on a speaker that on the day, overall, everyone had raised £730,000.
Yeah, £730,000,
of which we raised about 1,400, which is not a bad total, actually. Thank you to some of you guys as well. I know you all dug deep for us. It was really kind of you. So we best foot forward, and off we went. Now I'm going to say, you probably have a different thing. We stayed together.
We all stayed together, yeah.
A couple of things highlighted for me for the day. The first 8 miles, 10 miles, we breezed, if you like. It seemed to be quite, I'm going to say, not say easy, but it just flew by. Suddenly,
I can tell you it was easy because we were all chatty, talking all the way. When you're walking next to each other and you're making good progress, but you're talking at the same time, and the time just went, and the time goes very quickly.
Suddenly we saw a thing saying that we'd actually covered 11 miles, and I thought, wow, that was fairly, poof, gone. And then the next lot to about 9:18. For me personally, we are fairly fit.
It was all right.
Was all right, and our friends are not bad. Her husband's super fit, and we were doing great. There was one very poignant moment where we passed a man who was 86, guys,
and that was about a mile.
It wasn't far in.
7, 6, 7. That wasn't
about
it?
7 miles in.
And he was struggling.
86 years old, guys. There was a group and a few people. We went past him, and there was a steward with him, so obviously he was being looked after.
And he'd gone off on the first wave, because there was 1, 2, 3, 4 waves.
Yeah, we were the last lot.
So we were last wave. So
it's quite nice on your bib. It has your number. So obviously at some point we left at 7, so it said wave 7. Wave 7 a.m.
7 a.m.
But we went past a few people that were wave 6:20. So we were doing quite well at this point. And we went past this guy, and then I saw on a social media post last night, anyone said, did anybody see the old guy? What happened? And he plowed, and I read the post, he plowed on and on and on. And at 21 mile, bless him, they picked him up in a car, took him to the finish line, and
he
for the last half a mile, he finished with a group of people so that he could cross the finish line. Because, we finished in good time. We did it in about 10 hours.
10 hours and 7 minutes.
Still a long time for your hips to keep going. But I noticed on the day, because where we were camping was on the same field essentially, which was nice. And some people were still striding in at 8 o'clock at night. And we finished. Time we finished 5:30.
5:30. Yeah, and we
No, 5:07.
5:07 we did it, and that was 10 hours and 7 minutes, and we, in all honesty, we stopped 3 times because it had 3 breaks. So it had a 7, basically 7, 14, 21 were the stops. One, obviously,
like
that
fuel stops.
Obviously, halfway was a lunch, and the others were sort of snack and refill bottles, water, etc.
Yeah.
And that, I suppose, if you total all those together, it would have been 40-45 minutes.
Yeah, we didn't stop long, did we?
And I'm sure Jane's going to tell you any about our friend, and we could have probably done it a bit faster. But
we could have probably gone a little bit faster. However, when we got to the last break, she had said, I mean, we were all struggling in our own way a bit. My hips were arguing with me, like, what the hell are you doing? And Red had said he'd had a bit of a knee twinge, and Marcus' ankle was hurting, and Janie was complaining of blisters. Now, we all know how painful blisters are, right? So we stripped her feet off,
and this was at 21 miles.
This was at 21 mile, and she had blisters on the back of her heels that were like the size of 50p pieces.
And they had
super painful.
They bulged out as well.
Yeah, so she couldn't get her feet back on, basically, and she had some
blisties plasters.
Yeah, we did all that. We did all the right things, and they weren't new boots. It was hot. It was a hot day. I mean, I kept factor 50 on about 4 times on the day, just because it was very, very hot. And she ended up walking the last 6 miles in just socks, but her husband had this ingenious idea of taking the soles out of her boots
and
to
put them
in the socks, so it wasn't so hard on the ground. And love her, she ploughed on, and we finished, and she finished in her socks come soles of her shoes. Bless her.
It was,
and we all crossed the finish line at the same time. In other news, on the way we saw the magnificent Stonehenge. Never seen that before. You all know what Stonehenge is. It's sort of all a bit what gothic, holistic, some solstice, isn't it? Everyone's very into the solstice and what it means and stuff. It's huge. It's massive. And I'm going to say we were probably about a mile back from it, but it was massive. And so we took a few photos of it.
Stonehenge, if you can see it.
Oh, yeah, there you go. So that's Stonehenge. And interesting, the crowds around it and stuff. It's a very big really landmark in the UK. It's a massive landmark.
Yeah.
I feel like you couldn't see it, but I think there's a little fence around it now, because people started to do what they do and abuse it, and try and take a slither of it and write their name on it. And I was here this day and all that. So I think they put a fence around it now, which is rightly so if people are going to abuse stuff. So anyway, it's really nice to see you on here, and we do appreciate all your lovely comments. And hello to Chris Johnson, and I see that Narelle's on here, and also V.
So is just, that's a picture there of our friend. Look,
in her socks,
with her walking sticks. Bless her.
Yeah.
So
she did great.
She did really well, yeah.
So, and she said to me, just go, go ahead. Obviously, I'm going to, don't wait for me, and we'll have a drink. And I was like, absolutely not. There's no time limit on this. If it takes us all day, it takes us all day. We set off as a 4, and we will finish as a 4. And we did, and it was lovely. And when we crossed the finish line, they obviously pulled out my number off my vest, and it showed you our team name and stuff, and everybody clapped. It was really lovely. And you get a little glass of bubbly when you get stuff. And it was lovely, wasn't it?
And we had all these bright ideas of what we were going to do when we'd finished.
Well, you did.
Well, I did, yeah.
Red was like, oh, I'm going to the pub.
And we're going to have a drink and celebrate and everything.
Billy Big Boy here. No, what happened?
I went to bed. Yeah.
You had a bit of heat stroke.
I had a bit of heat stroke from it. And I ended up with the chills, shivering, shaking, and burning up at the same time.
I, on the other hand, with my bestie lover, who then we'd all stripped our feet off, because that was the painful bit.
Grabbed a shower.
We all grabbed showers. We sat and enjoyed a nice gin and tonic and watched the sun go down. It was really nice. It was lovely. And yes, it's about 26 mile and a bit, actually. 260
yards or something.
Not easy. It's doable, guys, but not, it's not a walk in the park. Literally, it is not a walk in the park. And
as Gina said, if it was easy, it wouldn't be meaningful.
No, that's absolutely right. And we passed many people who were struggling. who were getting help from people, because I think the weather was against us a little bit. It was hot.
Yeah,
you needed a hat on. You know, you needed a hat on. You needed your sunglasses on. It was hot. So I just want to say a quick hello to Vivinia Benny. Bless her. She was out driving somewhere. So take it easy, lovely. She just sent me a lovely message, and I do appreciate that from you. Yeah, so anyway, so that's what we've been up to this weekend. Not all our weekends are that exciting, I might add. So, and I'm now gearing my legs up because I'm going to work tomorrow. But people just want coffee. How selfish are they? Because it's going to be nice weather and I'm going to be busy.
I know.
So anyway, but I love it. It's fine. It's absolutely fine. I love it. So yeah, so that was our weekend in a nutshell. And the good news is we raised some good money, and it's always good to give back, isn't it? It's not all about the take. Not everything's a money-making thing. Sometimes it's good to give it back. And that's, for me, I'm all about the equilibrium. So that was our big thing. And I'm going to see my mum on Wednesday, and albeit she has not got a clue, I'm going to tell her all about it. So she probably won't, she can't hear me, she can't see me, but I'm going to talk her through it anyway. So, because that's what it was for. It was for my mum, and I super really good friends of ours. Appreciate that they.
And it was also nice. They put up a area just by the start line as well, called a what was it? A
memory wall.
Memory wall. That was it.
Where you could
could put stuff up on stuff. That was really cool. I like that. And I mean, Jane had done a Macmillan walk 2 years previously with the same lady, and obviously me and Mark had gone down to support them down in Brighton. They'd done Brighton to Eastbourne, which was a bit harder, I think, because it was more up and down. But it
was a harder walk, that one.
You can tell by the charities how big the charities are. Because Macmillan was a lot more people there for one, but also a lot better organized. And I don't mean that ours wasn't well organized, because it was, but certainly a lot of these charities get their food and water and snacks and everything donated to them for the competitors that are doing the walks. And obviously the larger the charity, the more they get. And I was reading that somebody had done the Northeast one for Macmillan the same weekend that we'd done it, and they'd raised 1.43 million, I think, for their weekend. So in real terms, it was double what we had gained from ours. So that really does show, doesn't it, that really does show that some of these charities really do that.
Conglomerates, aren't they? I mean, we all know, really, don't we, deep down, if you try not to go too deep, don't you? We all know how much the CEO's earning, and on all the staff and the buildings and stuff, and you try not to sort of go in too deep, because it's just a negative. And I think it's good to give. And I will say the food, looking after us, the food when we did the Macmillan walk was far superior to the food on this walk, which sort of tells you this is a smaller charity, less donations, less people to work it, I guess. But that's facts and figures, isn't it? And it was
Cynthia Deering, thank you so much for rejoining the
it was lovely. It was a really nice day, and I'm blessed. We feel really blessed. We feel really blessed also that the weather was nice to us. If it was raining, I have no idea what we would have done. I have no idea.
And the question is, Jane, are we going to do it again? Not this year.
Not today. Not today. I mean, I did all right, didn't I?
You did very well.
I was all right.
We all did
very well. Our pace was very good. Our pace was great. We were great. We were good. And it was just my friend's blisters at the end, I guess, added time on. But like we said, that could have been any one of us, And when you get to 23 mile and you've been constantly walking for like 9 hours or whatever, your body starts to sort of reject it a bit and go, I'm done. There were a lot of people sitting down, weren't there? A lot of people struggling at the end. But anyway, there you are. It's done. And I'm glad it's done. And I'm glad we did it. And I don't want to do it again this year, Tom.
That's it.
Thanks for that.
Anyway, any birthdays or anything
today?
Nothing. You didn't get ready, no?
Can I just say my brain is not computing like it should. So if it is your birthday, many happy returns. I know it's a friend of mine's birthday. So if it's and it's my sister's birthday on Wednesday. So happy birthday to her. And she's my elder sister, actually. So mentally strong. Jean, yes. Do you know something? I think I am, and I know Red is, but I'm quite a strong person. So I think things like that. However, you can be as strong as you want, but if your knees are buggered, you can't get very far. So I have been, and my trainer, my little personal trainer, messaged me in the day saying, how are the legs? How are the legs? And I said, the legs are great. The hips are arguing with me. My 59-year-old hips are saying, what are you thinking?
What are you doing?
What are you doing?
But we had a lovely time away. The campsite,
the campsite was wonderful.
Really nice.
Yeah.
It's the first time I've actually complained that the hot water was too hot for the washing up. Yeah. Normally it's like it's not warm enough. But
I'll tell you what else was there as well, which was really nice. It's close to a really popular airfield where people Narelle walk on. Oh, bless you. You're so naughty. Thank you so much for that, lovely. Shall I go and buy some plasters?
Yeah, thank you so much, Narelle, for your super sticker.
Thank you. There's an airfield, so there's a prop plane, is that the right word?
Yeah.
Prop plane goes up and basically hoists people out who want to jump a parachute for parachute drops. So that goes around all day, buzzing around above your head, and then obviously you see these little ants drop out, and then they open their parachute, and that was quite, because that's not something you see very often.
No, right? That's very good.
So that was really nice. That was a really nice thing going on. Of course, the weather was lovely. So
Salisbury is beautiful.
Salisbury Cathedral is stunning.
Amazing.
And we didn't get to see too much of it because we were trying to save our legs a bit, didn't we? We walked into town on the Friday, and I was determined I wasn't just going to keep walking and walking and walking. I felt like we really needed to not do too much.
But we want to go back to explore Salisbury a little bit more, because it was really nice. And for us, it was about a 2-hour drive from here. The van went very well. And again, it was our third outing in it, I think. So we
live and learn, aren't we?
Well, yeah, every day's a learning day in a when you've got a camper van.
But the bed's comfortable, guys, and that's all I needed the other night. Was just like, oh my days, I had to peel myself out of it the other day, and this morning I was very tired. So I think that's just your body sort of going, you've done quite a lot. We're not spring chickens, are we, love? I know you like to think we were.
No, we're not.
But we're not.
Anyway, that's it.
Thank you for all your support, guys. And I've sort of dedicated this today to talk about that, because we've been talking about it a lot, and we've been talking about it a lot, haven't we? So, and a lot of you have sponsored us, so I thought it was only prudent to sort of say how it went and what happened. And you've seen the photos, you've seen the evidence and what we did.
Yeah.
So
guess what? We weren't lying.
No, and never a dull moment in our house. We'll probably be planning our next adventure soon, because that's just what we do. We just go from one. We sort of go, right now, what's next? We're going to see our daughter on Sunday, and then it's himself's birthday this month, guys.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. It'll be a very handsome 62.
I don't celebrate this.
Will you be 62?
62.
Yeah, there you go. You're looking great.
Anyway, Jane's going to go into the chat now. Say hello to lots of you. We know Sherry Durswell is driving, so hi to you straight off the bat. And Vivian Benny will be listening to the replay.
Yeah.
But if you're in green, we'll give you a shout out first.
Myra Aquino's right there.
And Gina Lever.
And so Gina Lever. Bless you. And Tridget Jana is also there. And M. Kaylee's also lit up in green. I always want to say Christmas green, because it reminds me of Christmas tree green. M. Kaylee's there, and she's saying hello to you, Steph. Roy McPhail, hello to you. Thank you. Congratulations. We got a medal as well, guys.
Oh, yeah, we got a medal.
Got a medal.
Not
Jarmo, hello to you. He's lit up in green. I love your post, Jarmo, mostly because they're about coffee, and that's my one pleasure. Obviously Jean's in there, and Dennis Eldridge is in there, and Jean's right. We are always looking forward to the future, Jean, and it's the only way to do it, right? Just keep going, guys. Keep going. Stick with.
Yeah.
So Tandra Biswas is with us as well. She's not in green, but I quite like that name. Very nice.
Birgit Johansson and Gideon Catter. Hi, Narelle. Yoo-hoo.
Yeah,
You're woohooing, Narelle. Ojana. Hi
Would
to
you.
you.
Get down, please. Stop it.
Sanjak Kumar. Sanjay, sorry.
Sorry, I got winded.
Just so you know, just
Nagarash Kasavi is in green. Hello to you.
Just a heads up, this Friday, the 16th, there won't be a live from me. Okay, because
Myra Quino says we pronounce her name the right way and Chris Johnson can't.
Oh,
what,
really?
Something I can do better than Chris Johnson? I don't believe that. So nice to see Chris on. He's holding the fort really well.
Yeah, he's actually
a sterling job, isn't it? It's not easy, and I know it's not easy because I know Red does it on his own, and I know sometimes it's hard for Red to keep the motivation going because there's a lot of motivation needed a lot of times for people. So it's a bit of a weight on the shoulders, isn't it? So, and I think Chris is doing a sterling job. But Marty, we wish you well, sweetheart, and Dawn, of course, and the family. Hope you're all doing good. So Cynthia Deering is also with us as well, and Nara Ramu. Wowza.
Nara Ramu.
Colonel 123 is with us, and Digital Station with Wasim. Hello to you. And Bhutan Barman is with us as well, and Madan Mishra, and Krista Grazer. Hello to you again, of course. And there's Gina telling us all how to say it. Thank you for that, because we need it on these things. And James Hawkins as well is here. Congratulations.
And Roy McPhail, how you doing, bud?
Hello. And Levi Mamabola is also with us as well.
Levi, my man.
And John Barilla, hello, buddy.
Yeah, thanks, John, for everything you do in the chat, by the way. I do appreciate it, mate.
Lovely. And I know what Sherry does. She was on here somewhere.
Yeah, she's driving.
She's driving. Love her. Hello, Sherry. Take it easy, sweetheart. And Gopal Sharma.
Okay.
Very good. Very good.
On that note, we are going to slide off. Walk the dogs. We just picked them back up. They've been showered, fed, and now they want to be walked.
Else, I always shower the dogs when I get them back. That's just me being a little bit paranoid. But I always, when we get the dogs back from wherever they go, I always give them a nice shower. And they know it.
They do.
I'm like, come on, and they look at me like, ugh. But I just give them a lovely, and I always make sure I give them a bit of a massage. They love it actually, but they don't like getting in there first. But yeah, I always give him a nice shower. It's just me being a bit paranoid. So, and Michael Morse, hello to you. And Durag Prasad is on there. That's a nice name. And Nuno Santos, hello to you. Kushel Pegu, hello to you.
Okay, guys, thanks very much.
And Marty DeGamo, if you're listening in, we love you, buddy.
We do. Yeah, I'll see you all tomorrow. I'll come to the table with something, as I always do. Very positive, as always. Look out in your OES this week.
Who's saying you look handsome in a white beard? I just missed that. Who was saying that?
I have no idea.
No, scroll up. It's important.
Is it?
Yeah. Who said? I don't know. Missed it. Looking handsome in a white beard. Hopefully it's from a woman.
We can only hope.
I told you the other day.
I don't know where. I don't know how far up it was.
There you go. Digital Station with Wasim.
Yeah, he's got a black beard now. Wasim has.
Has he now?
Yeah.
Well, you know what to do then, Wasim, don't you?
Age, mate.
Yeah. Don't dye it. Just wait, and it'll come to you. So.
Okay, guys.
It's actually very white on here. It's not. Yeah. It doesn't look as white as I'm looking at you.
That's
on
it's
there,
the lighting I expect.
It's very white.
That's it from us then. We'll see you all tomorrow. Okay.
Yeah. Bye, guys. Thank you so much. Bye.